y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have a look at 3 Lucky Ladies that are moving towards the permanent line from Lucky 13 Lacquer, as well as 2 Majora's mashups that are going to be a little bit more limited. So both of these collections were sent to me for review, and watch all the way to the end to find out how you could win some of these polishes for yourself. So first up is Dirty Book Club, and this is a licensed book inspired by Lacey Harrison's upcoming book of the same name that releases on October 10th. So this is described as a nearly neon fuchsia with a virgin white shimmer. It's also said to look a beautiful matte. I'll go ahead and show you a quick look at that brush shot, and then I'll show you how Dirty Book Club swatched on my natural nail. So here's a look at that first easy coat. I did find this polish to be a little bit on the thinner side, so if you're someone who does prefer a nice thin polish, this is going to be great for you. That first coat went on super evenly, but a little bit sheer, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how it built up for me with that second coat. This does definitely amp up that coverage and adds a little bit more of that shimmer. However, I did still have a little flash of nail line, so I'll go ahead and let that dry and then show you how it built up for me with my third and final coat. So here's a quick look at that. That does for sure bring this polish completely opaque, and it does make for a very beautiful and soft finish. I had no issues with brush stroking or staining, so here's a look at that completed mani. I had 3 coats before, a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting, and then this is my final swatch photo at an angle in artificial lighting. So next up is I went to Juilliard, and this is described as an emerald leaning teal jelly with gold to copper to crimson, color shifting of shimmer, and tons of linear hollow. So this is stunning in the bottle. It does translate really well to the nail as well. So here's a quick look at that brush shot, and then I'll show you how I went to Juilliard swatched on my natural nail. This is described as a jelly linear holographic polish, so it does start out pretty sheer here. It did go on nice and evenly. I didn't really have any issues with application, and you can see that purple shimmer is already getting really strong on the nail. It's nice and flaky, which I really love in a shimmer. So I'll go ahead and show you how it builds up with that second coat. This pushes this polish right over the edge and to being completely opaque. If you're one who prefers thinner coats, you may need to go in and take the time to do a third to get a beautiful amount of depth, but I was happy here with the finish at 2. I honestly think that a third coat would kind of strengthen that shimmer as well, so it's definitely up to personal preference. Here's a look at that completed mani at 3 coats before a glossy top coat, and here's a view at how it shifted underneath my artificial lighting. I so regret not being able to get this one out into the sunlight. So this is my final swatch photo at an angle under that artificial lighting. The last polish that's coming to the permanent line is called Our Princess is in Another Death Star, and this is a topper. So this is described as a silver hollow micro shred with lime green shimmer in a clear base. So this does have that beautiful bold green shimmer you can see there, and also those shredded holographic flakies that lay nice and flush on the nail. So I'll go ahead and show you how it's swatched at just 1 coat over black. This makes for a beautiful finish. I really feel like you could use this over nail art as well, and it's not going to cover it up too much, but it does make for a really cool look. So here's a look at that completed mani at 1 coat over black before a glossy top coat underneath my artificial lighting. This is another one that I regret not getting out into the sunlight, but this is my final swatch photo at an angle underneath that artificial lighting. So next up are the 2 Majora's mashup polishes. I think these are going to be a little bit more limited, and they are made of a mashup of one fandom as well as the Zelda one. So this first polish is called Octorine of Time. It's a mashup between Octorine, which is the 8th color in Terry Pratchett's Discworld, and then Zelda Ocarina of Time. This one is described as a squishy dark violet jelly base packed with lime to royal blue color shifting flakies. So here's a quick look at that first coat. This one is in a bit of a jelly base as well, so it started out a little bit sheer. I'll go ahead and let that dry and then show you how it built up for me with a second coat. So here's a quick look at that. This is another one that's really on the edge of being a 2 and 3 coater depending on your application. I honestly think that I would prefer this polish at 3 coats, but I'm going to stop here and show you how it's swatched at 2. So here's a look at that completed mani at 2 coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting. The shift on those flakies in this violet base is almost, you have to see it to believe it. It does shift to a very vibrant and bright blue to that gorgeous deep green. So this is my final swatch photo at an angle underneath that artificial lighting. So this next polish is called Breath of the Wildlings, and it is a mashup between the Wildlings of Game of Thrones and Breath of the Wild, the Zelda game. So this is described as a creamy wolf gray base with peridot green to fiery red color shifting shimmer. I got most of the green here, as you can see in the bottle. There's a quick look at that brush shot, and then I'll show you how Breath of the Wildlings swatched on my natural nail. I do feel like this is more of a crelly formula, so it is a little bit on the thicker side, still really creamy and easy to work with. It does just start out a little bit sheer. So I'll go ahead and complete that coat, let it dry, and then show you how it built up for me with a second coat. So here's a look at my second coat. I did go in a little bit thicker here, and it does pull this polish completely opaque. Again, I think it's going to be down to personal application and what you prefer. If you go in for thinner coats, you may definitely need 3 with this polish, but this makes for a gorgeous finish at 2 thicker coats. I did have a little bit of brush stroking that mellowed out all on its own, so here's a look at that completed mani at 2 coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting, and then this is my final swatch photo under that same lighting. So that does wrap up my swatch and review of both the 3 Lucky Ladies that are coming to the permanent line and the 2 Majora's Mashup polishes. If you're interested in winning the Dirty Book Club, I do have a special giveaway just for that. I do have more information on my blog if you'd like direct links, but you need to follow Lucky 13 Lacquer on Instagram as well as author Lacey Harrison on Instagram. Then just give a like and repost of my swatch photo and tag a friend in the comments. And then you can also win your own Dirty Book Club book that will ship directly from Lacey Harrison as well. If you're interested in seeing any more photos of any of these polishes featured here, I do have those available on my blog at sloppyswatches.com, or you can also follow me on Instagram at sloppyswatches. So thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.